These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Tuesday, March 7th. Celtics have lost 3 games in a row. It is Disasterville on Twitter. A lot of Celtics fans very upset. I know Sam's upset.
I'm one of them.
We watched the entire game together, the Cavaliers game on Monday night. And by the end of the game, I know you were upset. I was laughing.
I thought it was real funny.
Yeah.
That was the funniest loss of all time. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's still like infuriating, and you shouldn't be like thrilled about it or anything. But it was like real funny, and I think us watching it together is just even better.
Yeah. No, it was an experience. It was an experience, and we'll talk about that plenty, I'm sure. But we got to do our nonsense. I know you had something you want to talk about before we go Celtics.
Yeah, sorry, I was just texting my mom. So today, just before this, went to the store. I came home from work, and I know I needed like some stuff. Needed bananas. Needed like what else I get? I don't remember. I got like lunch meat, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like different things. And I'm at Stop and Shop, and I walk in the door, and they don't have baskets. They don't have like the baskets that you can carry around, put stuff in.
Do they have carts?
They had carts, but like I'm already past the part with the carts. Like I'm not going to go back and get a cart. Like I went in anticipating there would be baskets.
Okay.
And they don't have baskets at either entrance to the Stop and Shop. Like usually if they don't have it at the entrance, I come in, the one near the deli has them. But they didn't have them. No baskets. So luckily for me, I can carry a good amount of stuff. So I get my 2 boxes of protein bars. I get bananas. I get little ice cream. I get my turkey. I'm carrying it all. I go to the self-checkout. Now, I don't know what your local store looks like, but mine, there's one section of self-checkouts where it's like 6 of them all together, and it's like a little station. And then there's 2 that are like where the cashiers would be, but it's a self-checkout instead of where they're like having a cashier do it. So it's like the long, like with the belt.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
So I went to one of the ones with the belt. I don't know why, just because I was like, I have bananas. I don't want anybody like behind me. Like I know I need to weigh them because you can't scan the bananas. You have to hit thing. So I do it. And of course the machine messes up.
Yep.
Like that's the thing with like fruit. For whatever reason, like the machines don't work if you yourself are doing the fruit. They need somebody to come over and like approve the machine and fix it. So it's like help is on the way. So I had to stand there while some kid like had to come over and put their key card to the machine. And then they fix the machine for me, whatever. I scan all my stuff. And I've already like put the bananas like in the bagging area, like it's down like the little ramp. And I realized like I haven't paid for the bananas or like, not that I haven't paid for the bananas. They haven't been rung up. They're on my list. And at this point, I've had it. Like, I'm not going to try and do it again. So I stole the bananas. Now, some of you might think, like, it's wrong for me to steal the bananas. But I think I kind of earned it because I went through my whole shopping without a basket. I call it even.
I feel like it would have been easier to go back and get a cart at that point. You see there's no baskets. You just turn around and get a cart.
Well, like, I don't know. I was like, I had already like grabbed stuff and then I walked back to where the baskets were because I was like, oh, wait, like I actually should get like this, and this too because I'm here. So I was like, whatever, I'm in this deep. I'll just carry all of it. And I'm like, then they like embarrassed me because the kid had to come over and like fix the machine. Like, I don't feel bad. Have your stuff work if you're going to like have me do the self-checkout. Like there's the Bill Burr joke where he's like talking about the self-checkout at the store. And he's like, oh, like I didn't know I was working today. Silly me, I didn't check the schedule.
Like if you could have gone to a normal one, no? Couldn't you have just gone to a normal checkout?
Yeah, there's lines. Like I had to get back for the show and I had an ice cream, so I didn't want it to melt and I was gonna get a coffee. But yeah, I totally stole some bananas. So chalk one up to me. Got him.
Well, there you go.
Shame on them. They don't have wicked smarts at Stop and Shop, so I don't feel
Speaking
bad.
of, hold up. Give me a second here. Let me
Good segue. Accidental segue. I've been looking all over for these, and I can't find them.
Shout out to my dad, Tom Simone of the pregame show legend. Picked them up for me. He saw them. He thought I'd want them. And Yeah,
He didn't
I
think
got
of
'em.
me.
I have not tried. I have not tried them yet. I need to. I didn't want to open them before I showed them off on the show. I wanted to keep them sealed. The trivia on the back, and before you say
They have
let's do that
trivia?
instead of the cards, terrible trivia. I'm sorry,
Is
Marcus.
it easy?
It's just like if Marcus wasn't a professional basketball player, he would be and then it gives you
Is
chemist,
there multiple
motivational
choice?
speaker, pick a ball player, or a high-end robe model.
How funny would it be if it was like just pick a ball player? Like
Yeah.
he's just like doing white man can't jump and he's hustling people.
No, but
Is it
you
the
have to go like
robe?
1 sec. You have to go online to read the answers. So
You have
give
to
me
go
a second.
online?
Yeah, there's like a QR code. Hold up. Wait. Where's answers can be found at that? Okay, so I go to the QR code and it takes me to like the promo section for his website, but like the answers aren't like on the on like immediately on the screen. So I'm like searching for the answers. My sister did them with me because she was bored and she found them on the screen, but I can't find like I scan the QR code and the answers don't pop up immediately. So I'm currently searching for the answers. I
They
can't
really
find
make
them.
you work for it.
Yeah, and I actively I am doing it, and I should have done it before, but I didn't think it would be this difficult to find the answers off the QR code. But yeah, I can't find the answers for you. I think I remember them for when my sister did it. I think it was a high-end robe model. I think that was the answer. Oh,
I mean, they
answers
all could be
below.
true.
I'm sorry, Marcus. This is the website, so I'm sure. Let's see if we can see it on my phone. So you see the website. This is where it takes you. Ignore my Slack message. Go down the line here. This is the section with the answers. It just typed out in like Times New Roman font. So it
They
is.
make you put in the work.
Mhm. If Marcus wasn't a pro basketball player, he would be a high-end robe model. Is the answer he put down. What was Marcus's favorite TV show growing up? Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, Kim Possible, or 60 Minutes?
Well, it's 60 minutes.
It's not 60 Minutes. I
60
don't know.
minutes was like the most depressing thing. Like it would come
Mhm.
on. Like I remember being like really young, like probably younger than 4, and you would hear that stupid ticking. And it
Yeah.
always made me sad. I don't know
Yeah.
why. It was just so boring and devoid of fun.
Yeah. No, I agree. It was not a fun time when you heard the ticking. Dragon Ball Z, however, was the answer. Was his favorite when he was younger. If Marcus could be a superhero, what would his power be? Infinite armor, flying, invisibility, or telepathy? What do we think?
I feel like everybody says invisible.
You are correct. It is
But
invisible. I
he's
thought it
like
was flying.
famous, so he probably doesn't want. He wants to be left alone.
It's fair. I thought it was flying, but it is invisible. You are correct. Marcus eats blank before a game. PB&J, kale smoothie, wicked smart cereal, or Eastern Conference point guards.
The smoothie.
No, it
But it's peanut
is
butter jelly.
wicked smart cereal.
Well, that's not
You-
true.
He went full promo.
The cereal's
What a
only been around
dad.
a month. He's been in the league for 9 years.
Also, it is 150 calories per container and 9 servings per container. So,
So it's per
Like-
serving.
yes, per
So-
serving.
And that's not
Sorry,
including
yes,
the
per
milk.
serving. No. With a half cup of fat-free milk, it is 190 per.
I wonder how much
serving.
a serving is, like a handful.
A cup,
Like that's probably
one
what
cup.
it is.
It says 1 cup.
Yeah,
so,
that like
whatever measured cup
cereal's
is.
so
That's
dangerous
nothing.
because that's satisfying no one. Like nobody's like full from that.
We got 2 more questions though. Still, I just
Okay.
I saw the calories inside. Who is Marcus's favorite player to guard in the league? Kyrie Irving, Joel Embiid, Giannis Antetokounmpo, or all of the above?
Probably all of the above.
It is all of the above. Like I said, the trivia questions, I was disappointed. They're very
Yeah, this is
you
lame.
could guess them. What is Marcus's favorite karaoke song? Don't Stop Believin' by Journey, Good for You by Olivia Rodrigo, I'm Shipping Up to Boston by the Dropkick Murphys, or You Rock My World by Michael Jackson.
I feel like it's Michael Jackson.
It is You Rock My
Yeah.
World by Michael Jackson.
Look at me.
So there you go. But yeah, Wicked Smarts. I have not tried them yet. They look just like Lucky Charms, but I will try them and I'll do a review next time we do a podcast.
A review.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll do a Wicked Smarts review. Anyways, I think we've done our nonsense.
We've prolonged it long enough.
We've put it off long enough. We should talk about the Celtics. We haven't talked since the Knicks game. We talked Nets game. We did a pod on the Nets game. We haven't talked about the Knicks game. We haven't talked about the Cavs game. But the Celtics have continued to have it's like the meme. I forget what it was. It's like, I've made a continued and prolonged lapse in judgment. I forget what
Well,
I forget
I
what
think
the
what we're
thing
really
is.
seeing is they're like, man, we really could use Wembanyama. Like, it would be really cool if he was on our team. Like, somebody showed them highlights of him like doing all this stuff that like Kyrie can do, but he's 7'4",
Mhm.
and they're like, shit, we need to go get that guy. So they just like they're like, we're gonna show these teams that we can beat them, but we're gonna let them have it. So like the Nets, they put him in their place for a quarter and a half, then they stopped trying. The Knicks, they just kind of like let him hang around the whole game and then said, we're not going to try. And then the Cavs, they were like, we don't have anybody playing. We're going to go up on you on your home floor. And then we're going to like
Mhm.
let you have it. And Grant was like, yeah, we're going to let him have it. But
Yeah.
I made money on all 3 games. And I wish I was just way poorer because I would have rather seen them win. But sometimes you have to take what you can get. So I guess I'm up
Mhm.
$120 over 3 games.
Oh, there you go. It's the bright side. But no, but it's frustrating because, like you said, you see the Celtics can do it, and for whatever reason, they just stopped doing all of the things that got them to that point. Like, I wrote it for Celtics blog in the article I wrote today. Through the first 3 quarters against the Cavs, they shot 50.7% from the field and 41.2% from 3. In the fourth quarter, they shot 25% from the floor and 20% from deep. And in overtime, they shot 1 of 9 overall. Like, it's baffling how they fall off a cliff. And they completely abandoned all of the good things that makes the offense work and just go into isolation basketball. And even like the good shots they're getting, since they're not in a rhythm anymore because it's isolation, then a good shot, then isolation, good shot. Like, the shots aren't falling, right? because they're completely out of a rhythm. And it's frustrating to watch as a person who covers the Celtics, as a Celtics fan, as anybody in Boston. It's like, they're good enough to win, and they're crumbling. And you can sit there and say, I'm not saying you're going to say this, and I know you're going to cut me off and say it doesn't matter who's on the floor, because obviously it doesn't. Some people can sit there and say, oh well, Jason Tatum wasn't there, well, this happened. Like, it doesn't matter, right? Like, I am the first person to give excuses, or say like, well, there's this and this, and like try to be rational. There's no rationality here. They're blowing it. They should be winning these games, and they're not. And not excuses, but reasons that I'm trying to come up with. Maybe they're sick of the regular season. Maybe they're looking for the playoffs and they just don't care anymore about the regular season. Again, shouldn't be that way. I'm not saying that's an excuse. I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to hypothesize what is causing this. Maybe they're getting lazy. They think in their mind, oh, the game is secured, we got this. Let's slack off. But after 3 straight games of that, you'd think they'd know better, right? Joe Mazzulla, after the game, he was like, it pisses me off we haven't learned about the late game rebounding. Like, what are we doing? The Celtics are a
Have to
great
agree with
rebound,
that one.
right? They're a great rebounding team this year. Objectively, by the stats, they're a good rebounding team. And against the Cavs, they were a good rebounding team for 3 quarters. And then in the fourth quarter and overtime, the Cavs just grabbed a ton of offensive rebounds. The Cavs had 10 offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter and overtime combined, and they had 6 in the other 3 quarters. Those 10 offensive boards led to 16 second chance points in the fourth and overtime alone. Like, it baffles me how the Celtics are just collapsing over and over again. And I'm not going to sit here and go 2 bridges too far and say they're not a title team. They are still a championship caliber team when they play at their best. But right now, they're not playing at their best. And they have to figure out how to get back to that, because until then, they're going to continue on this downward spiral. And Cam Tabatabai of the Celtics Lab podcast put out a tweet today. It was something along the lines of, this is the 3rd time the Celtics have lost 3 games in a row this season. And after those 3-game losses streaks, they went on some sort of run. It was like they were 11-2 after the first one, and then they went 10-5 after the second one. So they have responded well to losing streaks this season. But right now, I think the way they've lost each of these 3 games, like, I think Randy put it this way: if the Knicks loss was game 21 and the Cavs loss was game 41, it wouldn't be as big of a problem, right? Because these games do happen throughout the course of the season. It's the fact that it's happened 3 games in a row is the problem, because it's the same issues happening 3 games in a row, right? And like I said, these games do happen. You see these leads happen, right? Like, the Mavericks will blow a 27-point lead to the Lakers. The Warriors, come back on 20x points from the Blazers, right? Good teams blow leads. The Bucks blew a 19-point lead to the 76ers. No one's talking about it. You want to know why? Because they responded with a win. The Celtics blew 3 double-digit leads in a row, a 28-point lead, the biggest of the season. I believe it was 14 against the Knicks, or 15 against the Knicks, and then 15 again against the Cavs. And then they lost, right? And in one of those games they lost by double digits, and the other time they were down by double digits at one point, and then in the Cavs game they lost in overtime after having a chance to win it. And we'll talk about Grant in a minute, but it is the fact that these 3 games happened back to back to back with the same issues presenting themselves of turnovers, of bad late game execution on offense, and allowing their team to grab a million offensive rebounds. That is the problem. And you can say they didn't play great defense. Donovan Mitchell's a great player. He's going to, eventually play super well. I thought it was bad that Jaylen Brown was on him again because Jaylen Brown was getting absolutely torched on defense by Donovan Mitchell. But great offensive players are going to make great offensive play, but you have to be able to control the things you can control. And the Celtics have failed to do that over the past 3 games.
Yeah, the effort's not there. They look like a team that knows that they've lost a couple games in a row that they shouldn't have lost, but like they don't have like the fire they should have from it. So they have all the bad things of knowing you've lost those games, and they don't have any of the extra motivation. You can attribute yesterday's loss against the Cavs maybe to their legs being tired after playing double overtime the day before. It
definitely played a factor, but
especially with the numbers that you presented, the field goal percentage through 3 quarters versus fourth and overtime. But even then, you can control other things like the offensive glass. Sure, did they get beat? Yeah. And does that take energy to box out and everything? Sure, it does. So you can kind of loop that in. But when you've done it 2 games in a row, there has to be some sort of extra focus being put on that category. Like you said about Missoula complaining that they didn't make any kind of adjustments, didn't bring any extra attention to it. That is somewhat concerning. I'm sick and tired of seeing this team blow leads. It's not just these last 3 games. Somebody tweeted a graphic earlier today. They've done it at least 10 times, and they had all the different double-digit leads the Celtics have blown this year. And it stems further back than this year. Throughout the time that they've had Tatum and Brown, it feels like they are just notorious for taking their foot off the gas at certain points, whether it's during 3 consecutive games over the course of a season. This is just a trend. It's annoying. And that's the reason why I legitimately bet against the Celtics when they go up big, so I don't get like as mad if they lose. And I can do it enough because they blow leads enough for me to actually like somewhat make money on it. Like, it's not like I'm just throwing away money. Earlier this season, they were actually really good with keeping the leads. Like, I was like, wow, like I'm not taking insurance and it's not biting me in the ass. Like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. I think they might have figured it out. And now they're just like, nope, other teams can win. Don't care. They're only 2 games up on the Sixers for second, 2 games behind the Bucks now. It's not as easy as it was. You were far and away the best team in the East. I think they had what, a 4-game lead at one point over everyone. They're 10-9 since I don't know
some date in their last 19.
Saw it on Twitter today. Not good, not good at all. Have they had injuries? Yes, but just not good. This team is deep enough where injuries shouldn't make or break you. That's the whole point of like having all these guys that can contribute.
At least not in the way that it has.
Yeah, it shouldn't have like this much of an effect.
Yes.
Like, does it hurt to not have Marcus Smart? Sure. Does it hurt when Marcus Smart doesn't play particularly well? Like, he really hasn't lately. And I hate to say it because that's my guy, but he really hasn't been making a massive impact like we've seen in the past.
He's gone away from the playmaking.
I don't know
if much on offense.
Yeah, I don't know what the change is. It feels like everybody's kind of reverting back to bad habits, whether it's him, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. It feels like there's just all kinds of like extra things they're doing that are not necessary, and it's hurting them. And I'm sick and tired of seeing it. A lot of threes, a lot of bad threes. Not all threes are bad, but a lot of the ones they've been taking are bad. They need to figure something out, Jack. It's really concerning. I don't really know what else we can say. Generally, we can dive into deeper, more pinpoint things, perhaps a couple of missed free throws, but
I do want to get to that, but I want to look at something first.
Sure.
So Evan Mobley had 4 offensive rebounds against the Celtics, or excuse me, 5, 2 in the first quarter, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 in overtime, right? Evan Mobley's a big dude. He's going to be down there. Like, it sucks, but you got to box out. It's whatever. Donovan Mitchell had 4. He had 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth. Again, he's smaller. You shouldn't have those, but he's on the floor so much. You expect him to be down there fighting for some. Lamar Stevens had 6 offensive rebounds, 5 in the fourth quarter,
Lamar
in
Stevens, by
overtime.
the way, who I said to Jack, who's that?
Yeah. So I want to watch these because there's one in particular I want to shed light on because I think it explains the larger issue, and the rest, I mean, we can just watch. So this is the first Lamar Stevens offensive rebound in the fourth quarter. Here's a shot by Levert. What are we doing?
Gets
Celtics.
right
Look at this.
past. Who is that?
Watching the Celtics. Karis LeVert drives to the hoop. Decent, shot. Luke Cornett does his job to play defense. Peyton Pritchard watching the ball. Grant Williams watching the ball. Derek White watching the ball. Absolutely nobody on the Celtics crashes the glass. Lamar Stevens runs in behind, Malcolm Brogdon, Grant Williams, Derek White, grabs a rebound. Ball watching.
This
Everybody
is
on
an
the
effort
Celtics is
thing.
ball watching.
This is the kind of thing you actually can control, and
Mhm.
they did nothing to prevent it.
Easy put back dunk. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's see what happens. See how Lamar Stevens gets another rebound. Right? Let's take a look if it will load. Marcus Smart drives to the hoop. Here we go. This is a transition one, so it's less severe.
Also, they got murdered in transition. We talked
Yeah,
about this when we
against
were
the Knicks
watching it
too.
together. They got killed in the fourth quarter in
Mhm.
transition.
It happened against the Knicks too. This Lamar Stevens rebound, him and Grant fighting. Okay, well, he just kind of tipped that one. That one wasn't as bad as the other one. Not as egregious. Still, Lamar Stevens fighting under the glass, fighting harder than the Celtics are. And again, watch on YouTube if you want to see these. This is what we're doing. 3-pointer in the corner. Lamar Stevens walks directly through Jaylen Brown and Malcolm Brogdon. Jaylen Brown turns around to face guard him, which, first of all, this is a foul. Jaylen Brown can't do that. That's not a legal play. And he also fails to box him out. Malcolm Brogdon gets caught ball watching. Lamar Stevens gets right by both of them and kicks it out to the
Well, you do
corner.
have to give Jalen credit because he tried. And he
I
tried so
guess.
hard that he was doing it illegally. Like,
I
he even
suppose,
tried to
but
cheat.
don't worry, we'll get to Jalen. Transition 3-point attempt by Darius Garland. 3 Celtics under the hoop here. 3 Celtics under the hoop if this one will load again.
This is the one that went to the baseline. I remember we talked about this one.
Mhm.
And you were initially like, there's nothing they could have done. But, like, Lamar Stevens wasn't close
just
to this ball
outjumped him.
either.
He just outjumped him. No, Lamar Stevens jumped up and
Oh,
down.
okay. This is a different one. There was one
Lamar
that goes
Stevens-
towards the bench there. And we
Mhm.
watched that live. We were like, what the hell?
Yeah, Lamar Stevens jumps over 3 Celtics to get the rebound in the paint. I think this is the one you're thinking about as NBA.com poops its pants a little bit and starts lagging. But I believe this one is the one that sort of goes to the corner. Lamar Stevens magically gets it because nobody on the Celtics tracks it down and goes right to the baseline. This one was tough.
And there's only like a minute and a half left.
You say Lamar Stevens wasn't there either. He was. He was the closest to the ball where it bounced. Right, like not an excuse, but like this one isn't as egregious as the other ones. It bounced right out to where you're standing. The one that's the worst one for me, Lamar Stevens rebound in overtime. This is the worst one. I remember it vividly. Celtics are down 4 at this point with a minute left. They've blown the lead completely. Donovan Mitchell takes a 3. Ball watching. Mike Muscala, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, all ball watching. Jumps right over him. No one jumps up to get the ball. They're waiting for the ball to come to them. Lamar Stevens goes up, grabs it, gets the ball back for the Celtics. Ends up being out of bounds, but that you can't it's so clearly an effort thing in the sense that the Celtics in terms of late game rebounding, and the Mitchell Robinson was a little bit more tough because he's so big and they didn't, have Robert Williams to contend. But again, not an excuse, just an explanation. Lamar Stevens grabbing 6 rebounds in the fourth and overtime screams effort problem for the Celtics because correct me if I'm wrong. Lamar Stevens, I'm talking to Google there because I know you wanted the answer because you didn't know who he was. Lamar Stevens is 6'6", right? Like this isn't some 6'11", 7-foot big man fighting in the paint. He's a 6'6" guard who just had more effort than the Celtics. Wing guard, whatever you want to call him. And that's been a problem. That is the perfect example description of what's been going wrong for the Celtics on the glass. And that's even without talking about the horrendous shot profile. I mean, you sent me a picture of Jason Tatum's shot profile.
The penis.
Horrendous. It was just terrible.
It's just like it's like left of the top of the key. It's just like a big penis.
Yeah,
Ooh, and then
I mean,
all the rest are misses.
And we were watching the Cavs game together, and we were actively getting mad. Jaylen Brown pull up 3 in transition. Marcus
I actually
Smart,
thought Jalen
early
wasn't
shot
bad
clock 3.
yesterday.
Jalen was fine until the fourth quarter when he just started chucking threes.
They get up big, they chuck. In overtime, they just get like roped into a 3-point contest every overtime. They've played more overtimes than anybody, but they've taken like significantly more threes than anybody else in overtime. They've taken 45 threes in overtime all season. They've made 11.
The issue isn't the threes, it's the quality of the threes and how they choose to take them.
Well, if you're taking that many threes in a short stretch of time, you're bound to take some bad ones. To your point.
I agree, and that's the problem, right? If the Celtics took that many threes in overtime, but they were getting them the right way, their percentage would be better, but they're not. I guarantee you at least half of those threes are Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown pull-ups. And that is the issue, right? The issue is not the issue is not the Al Horford shot in the corner. The issue is not the Derek White shot at the top of the key that comes in rotation. Derek White, big shot, by the way. Got a little bit lucky. Good shot. The issue is not the Sam Hauser shot, off of a play that he gets a shot on the wing. The issue is not even usually, it has been lately, but usually a Marcus Smart 3, like we saw against the Knicks, he wasn't making a lot of them. Those shots against the Knicks are good shots because they came in the offense. Yeah. Exactly. The issue is Jason Tatum, dribble, sidestep, top of the key, no flow to the offense. And you know what happens after that? It clanks off the rim. The Knicks grab the ball, they run in transition, and they kill the Celtics. That's what happened against the Knicks, happening against the Cavs, right? The Celtics are missing the ball, and they're not getting back quick enough. And even when they're making it, they're still getting beat in transition, which is
because they're tired? Really, and I don't think being tired is an excuse. Like, I'm the last person that believes that. I think you should be in shape to play. But you got to think about it like this. If these guys are tired, they're not working to get a better shot on the offensive end. It's lazy. We say it's lazy. Mm-hmm. Okay. Not only are they overtired, they are not doing anything to make the other team tired because they're not making them work on defense. They're giving them an easy out, and it's burning them on the other end because they have more energy and they're outlasting the Celtics. The Celtics are now 4-7 in overtime this year. Terrible. Horrendous.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really be a great team if you can't win these close games. Not to say the Celtics haven't won close games all season. They have. They've won 4 of the overtime games. Not that that's fantastic when you've played 11. But it's real concerning when you're just so inconsistent when it matters. When the effort isn't there when the game is coming to a close. Mm-hmm. It's not about making or missing threes. It's about the offensive rebounds like we talked about. It's about the quality of threes you take, which I've complained about all year, and you're not all out on the threes like me, but you do have the understanding, like, you just can't be chucking. You got to work for them, which we agree are the good shots when the ball moves around and you create them. And you've seen glimpses of that throughout the 3 games over the weekend. The Nets, they played great for a quarter and a half, even moved the ball around, even when they were getting the wide open layups. They were still popping it around and making themselves earn the 3-pointers. Against the Knicks, they had to storm back in the fourth quarter of that game after kind of playing bad the whole time. Ran out of gas against the Cavs after putting together a strong 3 quarters despite being without Tatum. I mean, and Horford. Mm-hmm. Come on. You're there. You're showing us all you can do it. Figure it out. Playoffs are about a month away. This is not the time to be screwing around. You want to screw around in November. You can get us all pissed for like the first month as long as you turn around. This is not the time to start screwing around. Milwaukee's not screwing around. They just ripped off 19 in a row, whatever the hell they just won in a row. It felt like a million. You got to figure it out. Philly's catching you, and Philly's not that good. Not compared to you. They're not on the same level as Milwaukee and Boston, but they're about to catch the Celtics. They're 2 games back.
I will say, I still have faith that the Celtics will be fine in the playoffs. And that's crazy right now because they're playing so bad.
It's not crazy.
I genuinely think like when the playoffs come around, they will get their head out of their ass. But it is really a knock on the confidence in this team to see them play like this so late in the season, like you said, right?
I agree.
Like Philly's catching them, Milwaukee's building a lead on them. You can't be doing this late in this. You can't be playing like this late in the game. And it's frustrating. And I mean, we talk about, the 3-point shots, right? You look at the 3-point shots in overtime. While you were talking, I was looking at the stats, and like you said, they have taken 45 attempts in overtime, and they've made 10. 25 of those 45 are Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and they've shot 4 for 25.
Not very good.
Not very good at all.
Get those guys on the treadmill. Give them some extra legs.
Other players have struggled too, like uncharacteristically. Like Marcus Smart is 1 of 5 which is worse than his average. Al Horford shooting 2 for 4, clutch demon. Derek White 2 for 3, clutch demon. There you go. Grant Williams 1 for 4. We'll get to man in a second. Malcolm Brogdon 0 for 2, unlike him. Mike Muscala 0 for 2. So like things have contributed. However, I guarantee you most of those threes from those guys are in the flow of the offense and they just miss. It is the Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum threes. I guarantee you at least 20 of those 25 threes not within the flow of the offense at all. That's the problem.
It's real bad. Real bad. And this wasn't just 3 games that they blew leads. They've been pretty bad since the All-Star break. Almost lost to Indiana. Got lucky. Won that one in overtime. Almost blew it against Philly. Got lucky. Tatum hit a 3 after being terrible all game. You could very well be, 1-6 after the break? That's terrible.
And I remember coming out of the All-Star break, I said on this podcast, I said, if they can go 5-2, they have a chance to get 60 wins. They went 3-4. Did not go well. Did not.
I mean,
go
I'm
well.
saying they could have went 1-6. They very well could have went. Let's see, they lost 2 games in overtime, so at least 5-2. Could have went 6-1 if they just had their head out of their ass. I mean, we could be sky high.
I agree.
Maybe they needed a wake up call. Maybe this is good for them. You don't know. It very well could be a thing they need, but it's taking a while. The phone has to ring a couple times for them to pick it up. I mean, my God, you think Brooklyn would be enough? Then you'd be like, wow, like, we're really going to cherish these leads and not take them for granted. Nope. Blow it to the Knicks. Blow it to the Cavs.
Now,
lose 2 in a row after the Brooklyn game. My God.
Not that it's an excuse. They did play better in the Knicks and Cavs games. Like, they were better. It just wasn't enough.
They were bad against the Knicks.
I thought
Cavs, I didn't think they were entirely bad, actually.
I'll
think
back you on that. They were fine against the Cavs until the end. They weren't. You're right. They weren't great against the Knicks, but they were better than they were against the Nets. Which, again, the bar is the floor at that point. But if we're talking about little improvements, I suppose they're taking baby steps.
Yeah,
but when you've shown,
I didn't have to tweet against the Cavs that me and the boys are ready to play.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's frustrating. They have a chance over this next stretch to get their head out of their ass, like you said, like Portland, Atlanta, Houston, Minnesota, Portland, Utah. Like that's a good stretch where you should be able to win those games. Like you shouldn't be dropping. Like I'm not saying go undefeated, but
I am.
I know you are.
You want to earn my respect? Wow me, impress me.
The next
impressed
game,
me on Friday. I said, "Wow, I didn't think teams could lose when they're up that much."
The next game, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Out of the next 11 games, there's only 2 teams that should put up a big enough fight where it could be a good game. That is the Kings and the Bucks, right? And the Bucks are obviously the better of the two, but we're not going to disrespect the Kings on this podcast.
No, Kings are fine. They're fine.
Portland, Atlanta, Houston. Portland, Atlanta, Houston, Minnesota, Portland, Utah. You're better than all those teams. Right, you should be able to beat all those teams. After Sacramento, you have Indiana, San Antonio, Washington. Again, you're better than all those teams. You should beat all those teams. Kings and Bucks should be good games. Those are 2 high-quality playoff teams. Fine. And then after that, you got Utah, Philly, Toronto, Atlanta at the end of the season. Philly's going to be a tough game, but the other ones, like the Celtics, have a good chance to finish the season very strong, and they need to. So,
I will say this:
learn from it.
The Cavs game, like they kind of get a pass on, like they were coming off of back-to-back double overtime,
I guess,
and they made me laugh at the end.
And travel, like they went home to away.
Yeah, like I guess, like I don't care about that, but like at least like it was funny. That is like one of the funniest losses I've ever seen, if not the funniest. And it's not even because of Grant; it's just like everything as a whole, like just a collapse, and then like they had a chance to win it, and Grant talking and saying he's going to make both free throws, like people are ripping him for, like, dude, I would tell you I was going to make both free throws.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
and then like the best part of the whole thing is, and we talked about this, Grant was like actually really good yesterday until he wasn't.
Yeah, we need to talk about Grant.
Like, all he had to do was make one free throw and people would have been like, Grant's back. Grant's great. Made a bunch of threes, looked super confident, goes to the line, talking trash. That shows you more than anything to me that he's going through it mentally. Grant is a great free throw shooter, 83% on the season before those. I believe somebody tweeted, might have been, oh man, what's his name? Taylor Snow, that Grant hadn't missed a free throw in a clutch time situation all season before that. He's going through it. They need to fix him because as much as Grant is super fun to clown, which he is, it's really funny. Like, I think it's hilarious that he missed both those. Like, fine, like, whatever. Like, that's like, you have to sacrifice that one. Like, it's kind of funny.
Sure.
But you need him. He gives you good things. He plays okay defense. He can hang in there against superstar players. He can give you catch and shoot threes and be a reliable option on a kick out. He's usually not like dumb. He's just been bad lately. And that's going to happen, especially to guys that are in smaller roles, have less room for error. It's going to stand out more when they're bad. He was actually good against the Cavs, and he couldn't finish it off.
Yeah, no.
That was some of the funniest, like, it's like somebody wrote a script. Like they like had a great setup all game, and the punchline was the free throws, and then they pulled him in overtime. Oh man, I
need to talk
like,
about
feel
that
bad
too,
for
but...
Grant. You go ahead.
Yeah,
I wish we before I move on, I wish we streamed that, like us watching the game live. Like because I was so certain he was going to make at least one, and you were like, no, stop. Like, because you couldn't take it.
Yeah. He had no,
because you
I
knew what was at stake. He had such a good game, and you knew he was going to get crap if he missed.
Yeah, he, man, I tweeted out right after it happened. He played so well in that Cavs game. Like, he was so good. I said it live when we were watching. I don't understand why he just didn't play after the third quarter. I'm not saying it had an effect, but like, how is a guy going to make 4 threes in, the first half, and then he just doesn't play until like the last 5 minutes of the game, right? Like he like he pulled him for so long, and then he clowns. Or he's talking trash to Donovan Mitchell. I saw Keith Smith tweet something about it. He was like, if a guy gets in your face, you're going to say something back, right? And of course, Grant's going to be confident he's going to make them both. He's shooting really well this season.
Dude, I would do that. I would say I'm going to make both. Because I would.
Exactly.
I would make both. That's like the one shot in basketball. I can be like, yeah, I'd make that.
Exactly. So I don't blame him for talking trash. Like, that's whatever. But you got to back it up, right? Obviously, you have to back it up. And
all you had to do was make one.
I know. Well, Jaylen Brown talked about it after the game. He goes, I mean, like, I've been in that situation, and Jaylen Brown did it earlier this season. He clanked 2 free throws. The Celtics needed 1, and he missed them both.
Yep,
all right,
bad.
And so, as much as it sucks, I'm not going to sit here and like rag on Grant for a million years for missing 2 free throws.
You'll never rag on him. That's your guy.
That's just not true. I remember we had a conversation on the last podcast that said it's getting really hard to defend this guy. He sucks. But
that was the extreme of it.
Sure.
That's the limit.
The point is, like, it sucks he missed the free throws. And that's obviously going to be the story because he cost him the game. But he played so well other than that. And I really think that if he didn't miss those free throws, that would have been a huge game for him.
It would have been Grant's back. That's what
like,
we were just saying today. Grant's back.
Not
oh
even,
my God, can't believe it. He was so good.
Not even for the narrative. Like, I'm talking for Grant, like mentally. Like, he made 4 threes, big time game for him. He's back, but like, I don't know where his head's gonna be at after those free throws. And you got to trust him to like get past it because players are pretty good at getting past things. Like, this Celtics team in particular is good at like not letting a loss affect them. Almost too good at it. Almost too good.
Lost 3 in a row in the same way.
But I think that could be an okay game for him mentally with the 3s he made. I saw something somewhere, maybe on Twitter.
Before we move on, even more to Grant's credit, like, even, and this is not sarcastic, like, this is serious. Even him getting in the situation to where he got to the line on that because he was hustling is good. Like,
also,
that's like another good thing he did.
Bogus call on Grant Williams on the other end before that. That
was the best because they were wrong and then they doubled down.
Yeah,
that was not wrong.
Horrendous. That was horrendous. And that's not like saying, well, Grant wouldn't have to go to the free throw line if he didn't get called, but like, it was a terrible call. It was objectively a bad call. But yeah, man, it was tough. I saw something, I forget it was on Twitter where I saw it, but it was like someone caught Joe Mazzulla mouthing something to Grant, like talking to him after the game, but like this on Twitter. And it was something along the lines of like, stop making it all about you. Like, about after the trash talk, which is like,
I hope that's true. Like, I hope that's real. Like, I hope that's actually what was said and everything.
After the game, Joe was asked, like, what did you tell him? He just said, I told him I love him. Like the same thing he said about Jaylen, which is like a good message to send to a guy. I wonder
if that means he actually was like, I hate you. Like, I wish they would I wish we traded you is what he said.
Oh man. No, it sucks. It sucks that the game ended like that for Grant. I did think he showed a good signs in the game before that of like Grant, he might be back. Which is good. Like, you need that from him, but just tough ending. That's just a tough way to end that game.
They need to put one of us out there.
Jeez, no.
Like,
no,
put me out there. I'll make free throws. I'll do it. So it's the first thing I do every time I play basketball. I go shoot a bunch of free throws.
It sucks. It sucks, but whatever. We move.
Hilarious.
Like I said, they have a good stretch. It was funny.
I got to give them credit. Like, at least they made me laugh.
Yeah.
Like, they were like, all right, we're going to give you some money and we're going to make you laugh. So they get a pass for the Cavs game. Even though it was terrible, like, and it was like the third of its kind in a row, at least it was funny.
At least it was funny. There we go.
Like, Grant's my new Twitter header.
Also, I need to talk about this. I'm not one to rag on Joe. Why the fuck was Mike Muscala in the game? It makes no sense.
Yeah,
Tell me
you
I'm
were
crazy.
so mad during the game when we were hanging out.
Why? He was objectively the worst person to have in that spot. He was getting absolutely cooked on defense. He couldn't rebound for shit, and he shot 1 for 5 from 3. He didn't shoot well. If he's not
making threes, there's really no reason to have him out there.
Luke Cornett grabbed 8 rebounds. 6 of them offensive rebounds, and he wasn't in the game.
We were talking about
over
Cornett.
Mike Muscala. Yeah,
we found some stats on Cornett. When he plays and plays well, they are good. They're like 14, probably 14-2 now when he plays like 10 minutes.
In overtime, they went with Muscala over Grant Williams. Mike Muscala played 34 minutes. Grant Williams played 16. Luke Cornett played 18. Sam Hauser played 6. For what reason? Mike Muscala was objectively size. He stinks.
Well, over Hauser is why
I don't even give a shit over Hauser. Mike Muscala was awful on defense, and he couldn't make a shot. The only reason he should be on the floor is if he can get hot and start making shots, and he didn't. And yet he still played 34 minutes. That was one of the first questions.
Lost the trade.
Mike Muscala is a fine player. I don't dislike Mike Muscala. I dislike the role he's being played in because there was just no reason for him to be on the floor against the Cavs. He was bad.
I agree.
Like, he was a +9, which was, funnily enough, the best on the team, right? Like, how that's possible, I don't know. Because
that's why they were playing him, because he was nasty.
Is my eye test wrong though? Was he not awful? Was he not bad?
He's essentially Hauser but taller. If he's not making threes, there's literally no reason to play him.
And he's a worse defender. Hauser's not a bad defender.
Yeah, I was about to circle back and give Hauser some credit. Like, he hustles pretty much all the time. Sam Hauser's actually like a pretty good hustle guy. He's always on the glass, creates some extra possessions once in a while.
Decent ISO defender when he gets targeted too. Like,
like teams really try and go at him just because of what he looks like.
I'm not saying Muscala doesn't like hustle and he doesn't try. He does, but he just gets like cooked. Like, he's getting spun around. He's not doing anything in the post.
Much. If he's not making threes, there's no reason to play him. You're right.
The quote unquote like for size, like, I understand playing him to like draw Jared Allen out of the paint. It's the same reason they play Al Horford against Mitchell Robinson. So they draw Mitchell Robinson out of the paint, and he can't be a rim protector.
Is that why they do it? Maybe to try and keep the not on such a surface level, but more of a deeper level. As okay, we want our guys to be playing with the same type of lineup. We want it to be as repetitious as we can.
If you're blowing a 14-point lead, I don't give a fuck about the lineup. Play the players that are playing well, not Mike Muscala, right? And like,
I agree.
Also, on top of that,
just like not being the one that's rattled.
On top of that, not only that, he was playing when Jared Allen wasn't even on the floor. He was playing when the Cavs.
Why do you think Jared Allen was on the bench? They said
Lamar Stevens,
Muscala can't play him.
It just made no sense. Play Grant in that spot. I don't give a shit about size. Grant hustles on the glass, right? You have other guys who can hustle on the glass, and to be honest, it's not like Muscala is a god on the glass either. He had 6 rebounds, right? Like, it's not like he's 6'10". Like, Luke Cornett had 8, and he played 20 less minutes. What are you doing? Again, I'm not one to blame the coach.
I think Cornett's sneaky good. We talked about this during the game, and I kind of like hinted at the stats, like where he plays and they win. But he's probably your third best big. I thought he sucked against the Nets, and he was egregious against the Nets. But besides that, I really can't pinpoint a time where I was like, wow, Cornett kind of sucks.
I love how we're talking like Luke Cornett was great against the Cavs because I thought he was. He was -17, the worst on the team. Do we not know ball? Like, what's going on?
I don't know if that's his fault, though. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't understand why Muscala.
Some people don't even think plus minus matters.
Maybe I'm crazy. I don't think
because Muscala was a +9. Good. So
yeah, I don't think he was particularly good. Anyways. Anything else you have to say about the Celtics recently? I don't really have any more.
I really hate that they lost to the Knicks. I just hate that.
Tough.
Like, Knicks I thought that had a playoff game feel like about it at home.
And they
you
could
couldn't
draw the
finish
Knicks
it
in the
off.
playoffs. They could get the Knicks in the playoffs easily.
I mean, they should still beat them. Like
I still don't think the Knicks can beat the Celtics in the
this is the
7-game
last time
series.
I'm talking about the Knicks until like they play again because we've
Sure.
talked about the Knicks too much over the last
Sam's
week.
gonna be so mad if they play the Knicks in the
No,
playoffs.
I don't care if they're actually playing them. Like, it's fine. But I really don't think Randall's that good. He plays like super reckless and feels like he's out of control. Like, I don't think that's sustainable in a playoff series. He can't handle a double team, panics when he gets double teamed, turns the ball over, whatever. I think Brunson's legit. I don't think Barrett's that consistent. The rest of their team is like hit or miss. They've been hot lately, so of course they're going to ride it. The Celtics all have been ice cold. Tatum in particular has been bad. He won the All-Star Game MVP, super cool, hang a banner. Besides that, hasn't given you anything since January. Brown has improved, in my opinion, which is good. I think it's important that Brown is making shots at the very least.
Yeah.
Him making threes is a big thing. It's going to be important in the playoffs when guys are really.
He made a couple
on
good plays
Tatum.
against the Cavs. He made like he's doing a little better.
He's been like on a steady incline. He's finally starting to like feel a little bit more under control.
9 assists against the Cavs. He did a better job of facilitating.
He did. He had a good game against the Cavs.
One
for
of
the most part. Not perfect.
1 of 7 from 3 though. Not great.
They both take far too many threes.
Uh-huh.
I
7's not even
understand
that
it's
bad,
the offense,
but
well, when you're 1 of 7, it might be. Unless it's wide open, unless it's in the flow of the offense. Like there comes a certain point where you shouldn't be trying to create threes for yourself. And to Brown's credit, he does an excellent job. And we talked about this when we were watching the game. He does a great job of creating and getting to his spots instead of creating at a spot like Tatum does. Brown does a great job of getting to that little half circle around the free throw line where he's money from. When Tatum's creating shots, it doesn't feel like he's doing it as often from spots in the mid-range where he should be able to pick teams apart from. His shot chart against the Knicks was Harden, all at the rim or all beyond the arc, and one of them
and not in the corners. Right? Like he took none on the wing and in the corners. They were all top of the key, which is terrible.
And he's just not. It feels like Tatum's playing kind of lazy. I don't know.
Well,
I think Smart needs to be better. That's my guy, and we touched on it, but he hasn't been as effective. You say he's chucking more. I don't know what I'm noticing, what I'm not noticing. I just know he's not out there pulling the strings anymore.
Another thing on Tatum too is again I sit with Cam to by Celtics Lab when I go to games at Celtics Wire as well, and he mentioned like Tatum doesn't play as strong as he is. Like whenever he drives to the hoop, it's all like twist his body, try to finesse the ball, and that's something he did a lot better at playing stronger earlier in the season, and he's kind of abandoned it. Like he'll just go up and he'll like try to like twist his body, get a foul call, something like that, and it hasn't been working.
I hate the maybe Tatum's hurt thing. Like I'm sick of hearing people say that, but maybe he's hurt. Like that would make sense to why he's doing that.
Well, and
it was funny at the beginning of last season. Remember, like all anybody Scal talked about was how he put on muscle, and then he was still like playing, like you just said, like trying to finesse around people.
Yeah.
So I hope he does get back to that. I think it's a good point. And he
like,
hasn't been as good around the rim.
We said this against the Cavs too. Like it feels like the only player on the Celtics who can consistently get in the paint is Malcolm Brogdon. He's the only guy.
He just goes and he's getting there. Whether you like it or not, he's getting to the rim.
He is. Anyways, all right. We want to do a bracket, our March Madness bracket of the day. We can wrap up the Celtics talk and do something fun.
That. No more need to talk about this team.
What do we got today?
We have best candy of all time bracket. This may be flawed. I'm going to shuffle the bracket.
Ooh, baby.
Twice. I'm gonna do it twice. I've shuffled twice.
All right. Let's do it up.
Matchup mode. They have Mounds bars in the background. Almond Joy, Butterfingers. Don't know what this one is. Crunch. Here we go. You've got Laffy Taffy versus Whoppers. This is the first round. If you don't know, it is March. We have been doing brackets every pod for the month. Started with the big Pete Rogers bracket. Last time did fast food. Now we're doing candy.
Yes.
I think we actually might have did something else in between.
No, I think we've just done these 3. I don't think we've done another one since. Did we do? We did fast food. Did we do something on stream?
Maybe.
I feel like
we did do one on stream.
What did we do?
We had you do the cereal.
Cereal. Yes, we did the cereal bracket. Okay. So candy. This is pretty easy for me. I think Laffy Taffy is fairly overrated. I don't know about you. I think Whoppers are good.
I don't care for either of these, so I will defer.
Okay, I'll take Whoppers. Neither are great, but like Laffy Taffy's like, I'll take Whoppers. Yeah.
Now you've got Reese's versus Original Spree. Now these Sprees, I've never had them, but they look like sweet tarts. and Reese's is top tier to me.
Yeah, this is a 1 versus 16 matchup.
Like, this is
Let's,
one of those things where people that are allergic to peanut butter, rip. Sorry, you don't get to enjoy
Yeah,
one
it
of the best
sucks.
things on the planet.
Reese's is a goated candy. That's gonna make a finals run.
You've got
See here.
Trolley gummy worms, the sour ones, versus Arrow chocolate. This is just milk
Mhm.
chocolate. They don't have Hershey's on here, so it is what it is. But it's essentially the same thing, not as good. But what do you think, Jack? Where do you lean?
I think plain chocolate bars are a little overrated. Like Hershey's bar is
Okay.
fine, but like I'd
Which
probably
chocolate
lean
do you
the
prefer?
What do
Milk,
you mean?
dark, white,
Dark chocolate best.
Jack,
Dark chocolate's the
W.
best.
A lot of
Huge.
people don't like the dark chocolate. I'm all in on dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate's great.
I don't even like eating milk chocolate because it leaves like a weird taste in my mouth. Dark, right to
It
the
like gets
point,
caked onto
gets
your
on with
mouth
it.
and stuff. Yeah. I'll take the Trolleys here. Arrow's
I
probably fine,
agree.
but like Trolleys, yeah.
Back in my prime, I was a big fan of gummies. That was my favorite. Now
Gummies are
you've
good.
got Milky Way versus Gobstoppers.
Mhm.
What's your initial feeling on this?
I think Milky Way is the
Tell
most
the tape.
overrated of all of the chocolate bars, like the Snickers, the
Really?
Kit Kats, the Twixes, everything. I think Milky Way is the most overrated. But Gobstoppers are also like, So I'd rather a Milky Way than a Gobstopper, but I'm just letting you know now, early doors, Milky Way is overrated.
I don't even really know like when these are jawbreakers. Okay.
Yeah, they're like I think they're like sour jawbreaker. I don't know if they're sour, but they're just
I
jawbreakers.
haven't
Yeah,
really
they're like
had those.
yeah, they're pretty mid.
I'll go
I
Milky
think
Way. Milky Way's
Milky
fine.
Way's easy. In this matchup, Milky Way's easy.
Now you've got Haribo Gold Bears, Gummy Bears versus Pez.
I'm
This is kind of
sorry.
a tough matchup.
Pez are awful. I'm sorry.
Pez,
Not a Pez
not the
guy.
best candy, but they're kind of iconic.
It's a cool
Like those
experience,
things-
but like
It's like an icon thing, collector's item.
I could house a bag of gummy bears though. So I lean gummy
I'm a
bears.
big Gummy Bears guy too. I lean Gummy Bears, so I take
Yeah.
Gummy Bears. That's what we'll do.
Okay.
Now you've got Cadbury Dairy Milk Chocolate versus Double Bubble Gum. I don't know if I consider gum a candy.
Yeah, I don't think it's a candy. I love Double Bubble. This is not a shot at that. Like that.
Can you blow
playing
bubbles?
baseball as a kid. I can. Yeah, playing baseball as a kid. Goated. Right. You pop a million of those in your mouth. You're
The
good.
best gum as a kid was the Big League Chew.
Okay, that's good too. I just remember having the buckets of the Double Bubble in the dugout.
I'll tell you what, I didn't know how to blow bubbles until like a couple years. I think I came on a pod and I was like, Jack, I just learned how to blow bubbles.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I didn't know
funny.
how to do it. One day I was driving to work and I was just screwing around. I was like, oh my God, I just did that.
Well, there you go. Well, I mean, Cadbury's fine. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of just plain chocolate bars.
Mm.
So like, if I had to pick one of these, I'd go Double Bubble. But like, I don't think Double Bubble's a candy, so I don't.
I
wanna
think we need an
advance it.
obligatory chocolate advance.
Yeah,
just plain chocolate.
I can't advance bubblegum in the candy bracket. That seems wrong.
Okay.
So just go Dairy Milk. That's fine. Cadbury.
Hit it. Will it work? There you go.
Let's see. All right.
Now, okay. All right. Did not see
Ooh.
the Hershey's Kisses on here. I gotta admit, messed that one up because I said there was no Hershey's.
Okay.
You've got Jolly Rancher versus Hershey's Kisses.
I've said it like 3 times at this point. I think just plain chocolate is like overrated. Like it's fine. If I had to pick one of these to advance, though, I'd probably lean Jolly Ranchers.
This is tough because I lean Hershey's Kisses.
I won't fight
I'm
you
a
on
big
it.
fan of the Hershey's Kiss.
I won't fight you on it. Hershey Kisses are fine. Jolly Ranchers are fine. Like if you want to go Hershey Kisses, I won't pick my battle.
Some
here.
people love Jolly Ranchers.
I do like me a Jolly Rancher, like blue raspberry fire, watermelon fire, but like this isn't where I'm gonna lay my claim.
They have good ads. You know,
Sure.
the Christmas ads are fine. Might be one of the best parts of Christmas, actually.
Well, I won't complain. Anyways,
Now you've got a Cadbury egg versus a 100 grand bar.
I'm sorry. Get the grand bar out of my face. Cream egg. Cream eggs.
Okay.
I don't even love cream eggs, but like 100 grand bar. Like,
I don't
what
think
the
I've
hell?
had 100 grand.
I don't think. I think I've had it like once or twice, and it's just not very good.
Okay. All right. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Cream
All right,
eggs.
we are
cream eggs,
on
cream eggs.
to the second round. If you haven't seen one of these, this bracket program isn't big on like letting everyone play first. It does one
Yeah.
side first. So now
Which
we
is
have
lame, but-
Whoppers versus Reese's.
Just
I don't think this is much of a contest.
No.
I'm all in on the
Reese's.
Reese's.
Reese's
Powerhouse.
advanced. Not even close. Not even close.
Now we have a second round trolley sour bright crawlers, value size though, versus a
Mhm.
Milky Way.
I would lean Trolleys, and I don't even
agree.
like. I don't even frequent Trolleys. Like I said, though, I just think Milky Way. If you're gonna have a chocolate bar, I'm not picking a Milky Way.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I I low-key prefer Three Musketeers over Milky Way.
I agree. I prefer Three Musketeers,
Yeah.
Snickers. I don't even love Twix. I prefer that.
I think Twix kind of overrated.
I agree, but like
I
I'll
don't
put it
even
this
know.
way, like
Twix might
at
be on
least
here.
at least Twix has the cookie. At least Snickers has the peanuts. At least Three Musketeers has a different inside. Milky Way is just like stealing a little bit from everything and completely unoriginal. I hate Milky Way. I'm a hater.
All right. I can respect that as a hater myself. Plenty.
Yeah.
We've got
Milky Way
Haribo
hater.
versus the Cadbury milk chocolate. I think the gummy bears are another powerhouse candy.
I agree.
Similar to
I
the
think
Reese's.
gummy bears. Send the gummy bears through. I agree.
Okay.
Love some gummy bears. I won't eat it often, but if I'm presented with a bag, they're gone in like 3 seconds.
We are on to a chocolate matchup: Hershey's versus the Cadbury cream egg.
I would prefer the cream egg, but I know you love the Hershey's, and again,
I like
this
the
is not
Hershey's Kiss.
this is not where I'm gonna put my battle, so I'm not gonna complain. Either way.
Okay, I'm taking the Hershey's Kiss here. I like this
Okay.
one. That's
That's
one of
fine.
my favorites. Not
That's fine.
not super powerhouse. This
Mm.
this is kind of a powerhouse. Not really, because we have gummy bears in the lower bracket.
Yeah,
Reese's versus the sour crawlers.
it's Reese's. I mean, come on.
I agree.
Reese's is going to the finals. I'm gonna tell you now.
Reese's might run through.
Haribo
bears?
and Kisses. I'm going gummy bears here,
Yep.
but again, I'm not going to complain too much.
Nope,
if you
gummy
wanna go
bears is
Hershey's.
fine.
Okay.
Because they're just going to the slaughterhouse anyway to face
Yeah,
Reese's.
gummy bear. Reese's. Send the Reese's to the
Reese's
final.
to the Okay,
Reese's
we are
goated.
on the other side now. We have all new candies to nitpick. We have Jelly Belly jelly beans versus Fun Dip.
This is. I would eliminate both of these if I. Had a
I
chance.
agree.
These are
to say the same thing. This is like one of those bubble matchups in the tournament.
I will say, first of all, before I even tell you my choice, why are there 49 flavors of jelly beans? That like just make it fucking 50. Come up with another one. What are we doing? Like
Well, you're asking
awful.
an awful lot.
Just horrendous. Purely for the nostalgia factor, I'll go with the Fun Dip because I remember you get them in school, you have a fun time, it gives you something to do. Jelly beans, not a jelly bean guy.
Yeah, I
Can't
think
do it.
jelly beans are like a bottom tier candy.
I agree. They're nah, can't do it. I'll go Fun Dip. just
Fun
for the
Dip
nostalgia.
advances. Now you've got, oh boy, this is like a terrible side of the bracket. You
I
have
like
candy corn versus Tootsie Roll.
I'm a candy corn guy. I'm a fan.
All right, I
Seems
don't
like
care
some
for the
candy
Tootsie
corn.
Rolls, so
Tootsie
I'll
Roll's
allow
not
it.
good. We'll go candy corn.
Now you've got Lifesavers, the hard candy versus a Kit Kat.
Kit Kat, not even close. Lifesaver.
If
gummies,
it was the gummies,
fire.
I'd put up a fight.
Agree, but Kit Kat's not even close.
It's very important that it's the hard candy. Kit
Agree,
Kat goes
agree.
through.
Kit Kat goated.
Oh, this is like sneaky like cheating on Reese's. Because you have Reese's Pieces, so you already have the Reese's cups on the other side that have ran the table, going up against the Snickers bar.
I do not like Reese's Pieces. Hot take.
Okay.
Not a fan. I don't love M&Ms, and they just feel like
You don't
even
like
the worst
M&Ms?
M&Ms because M&Ms are fine, but they're just mid. I love a Snickers bar. Reese's Pieces to me, they like the good part about a Reese's is you got the chocolate and the peanut butter, and you can feel the texture, and you can bite through, and you get them both. Reese's Pieces just smushes them into one, and it's just not as good.
Kind of takes the fun out of it. I kind of
Not
agree.
as
I think
good.
Snickers
I go
is pretty
Snickers.
good, and it's filling.
Snickers is a top 5 candy for me. I love Snickers.
Okay. Now you've got Pocky chocolate-covered cookie sticks versus Twix. So this is almost like a mirror matchup here.
Yeah.
Very similar.
I'm not a huge Twix guy, like I said. I don't know if I've ever had Pocky. I don't think I have.
They're okay.
They sound good. I'd probably just lean
I'd
Twix
rather
here.
have the Twix.
Just generic. Yeah, I'd probably go Twix. All right.
Now you've got Swedish Fish versus Mr. Goodbar.
Mr. Goodbar, good.
I
But,
agree. I agree. Mr. Goodbar is kind of like one of those like dark horses.
The only time I ever have Mr. Goodbar though is when it's in the mini form.
Yep, the minis on Halloween.
Yeah. However, Swedish Fish also goated. Fun fact: for my birthday in high school, my friend's mom, who I'm really close with, my friend Seamus's mom, got me a Tupperware full of Swedish Fish.
God.
Like thousands of Swedish Fish, and we went through them. Best part about it, my dog got in the Reese's Fish, or excuse me, the Swedish Fish, chowed down, just like ate it like it was a big box of dog food because that was the size of it.
Is that what's your most impressive eating feat?
What do you mean?
Like, what is like the most like juggernaut meal or food you've eaten in one sitting?
God, I don't know about that. When I was younger, though, I had severe FOMO, and so when I went to
Hmm.
breakfast, we went to this breakfast place called Perry's, and it's closed now. But when we were younger, and I would order 3 different breakfasts, because I wanted the omelet, I wanted the eggs, I wanted the French toast, I wanted a little bit of
I kind of
everything,
get that.
and so I
I'm a
ate.
big
Uh,
combo breakfast
I
guy.
didn't necessarily finish it all, but I ate a lot of it each time, and without fail, every time we got home from Perry's, I vomited. Like
Oh,
every
okay.
time. So younger Jack, like 8-year-old to 10-year-old Jack, was house and breakfast food.
Oh, mine. So back in my prime,
Mhm.
B-dubs, buy one, get one.
Oh, beat up so good.
They have the buy one, get one wings, boneless. I would get a large, which I want to say was 18.
Hmm.
So I had 36 wings
Wow.
and also a large thing of wedges. And I
Wedges?
got to like
Wedges.
potato wedges.
Oh, fries. Okay.
Yeah. And
Wow.
I got to like 30 wings. And I'm starting to hit the wall.
I think I remember this. I think we've talked about this. Was this in the last few years?
Yeah, it wasn't like that long ago. But I'm
Since
starting
we've
to
been
hit the
doing the
wall.
pod.
And I'm like, well, I only have 6
Mhm.
left. Like, I can't bring these home because it's not even a meal.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got to power through. So I finish them all.
Oh my God.
And then I was like, yeah, I got to go home. I got to throw up.
Wow.
That might be
Love
the
to
most
see it.
diesel meal I've ever eaten. All right,
I love to see it.
back to the task at hand. We have Swedish Fish versus Mr. Goodbar.
Yes. I see it's tough because I think I would probably prefer one or the other depending on the mood.
Mm.
What do you lean here? Do you have a strong
I
opinion?
lean Mr. Goodbar.
Okay. I won't fight you on it.
Okay.
I could be swayed
You're
easy
not.
either
You're
way,
very
so.
passive today.
Well, it's tough with ones like that where I
The
don't
hell
really
is
care either way.
this?
What a terrible matchup.
You
Say
have
it out loud for the
Airheads
audio
versus
people.
Runts.
Awful.
This
Both
side of the
awful.
bracket's weak.
No, it's not bad, but it's like the bad matchups are paired up against other bad matchups is the problem. I don't like Runts. I don't like Airheads. I'd probably lean Airheads, but
Yeah, I
don't
think
like
Airheads
either.
suck, but like I don't know, more
Better than
like
Runts.
yeah.
Oh,
Now you've got Twizzlers versus Crunch. You seem conflicted, so I'll let you go.
it's tough. I love a Crunch bar. I haven't had one in a long time, but like I feel like I want to put the Twizzlers through because they're so
Really?
unique.
Oh, I think
like
Twizzlers
Twizzlers.
suck.
I love Twizzlers. I'm a big
Twizzlers
fan.
like bottom tier for me.
I'm a Twizzlers guy. Again, though,
Okay,
I'm not too passionate about this though, but because like I would eat a
I go
Crunch bar.
Crunch.
That's fine. I'm not super passionate because I like both. I'll be passionate if I like dislike one and don't and like enjoy the other. Like this
Okay.
one, I would go candy corn because I enjoy candy corn.
I have
over Fun Dip.
no fight to put up. I didn't
This is
care about the first round. Don't care about this one.
Fun Dip versus candy corn. Very weak section
This
of the
is
bracket,
Mickey
but I will
Mouse
go candy
corner
corn.
of the bracket.
I'll go candy corn though. I like candy corn.
All right, Kit Kat versus Snickers. This is kind of
Oh
a big
my
one.
God, this is the heater matchup in the second round. These are 2 top 5 candies for me.
I agree, they're both up there.
I
don't even know which way I lean on this one.
I would painfully lean Kit Kat. But like I
kind of agree on that. I don't know. I feel like I have Kit Kats more.
Yes, both are very good, but like the wafer
And it
of a
doesn't really
Kit
get
Kat,
stuck
like,
in your teeth.
I wish they made dark chocolate Kit Kats. They probably do, but
Oh, they make all
I'd-
kinds of Kit Kats.
I'd go Kit Kats. Yeah, Kit
They
Kats
make
are
like a
good.
million different kinds.
All right.
We've got Twix versus Mr. Goodbar.
I think a lot of people are gonna be mad, but I probably lean Mr. Goodbar here.
I agree. I don't care for Twix. Twix is
neither.
fine.
They're meh.
Mid.
Mhm.
And this one is Crunch. Airheads.
Crunch
see you
versus
later.
Airheads,
Lucky
yeah,
to get through the first round. Cinderella over.
I will say Crunch drew an easy matchup though. I mean,
Oh, they did. Kind of Mickey Mouse from Crunch too.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Now you've got candy corn versus the Kit Kat.
I like candy corn as much as the next guy. This isn't close. This is
It's
not
not close. Kit Kat.
Kit Kat. Easy
Okay.
clears.
We've got Mr. Goodbar versus Crunch. We're getting to the nitty gritty.
Again, I like Crunch. I lean Mr. Goodbar.
Mr. Goodbar on the Cinderella run.
Sneaky good. It's going up against the heater. It's not getting past Kit Kat. I'm telling you now.
Kit Kat
Yeah.
versus Mr. Goodbar.
It's got to be Kit Kat. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
Let me say this first though. Reese's, I think, would have had a good run regardless. It had an easy side of the bracket. Reese's.
Yeah, a little bit.
In comparison, I know we had the Mickey Mouse corner on the other side, but Kit Kat versus Mr. Goodbar though. Kit Kat, I think.
Now you've got This is the final, the national championship. You have Reese's versus Kit Kat.
And this is the deserved final. This is like,
Yep.
These are the top two candies, I think.
This is what everybody wanted to see.
These are the top two in the game. Also, if people are in the comments saying it's not Reese's, it's Reese's, shut the fuck up. Fuck you.
Shut up.
I'll say it how I want.
You start a podcast and you can talk. Get people to watch it.
Okay. Both are goated. I was a Reese's guy my whole life. I've leaned Kit Kat in recent years. But overall, I think I have to go Reese's.
Reese's is my favorite candy. I was going to fight you on it if you said Kit Kat.
No, Reese's is the GOAT. I love Kit Kat. And I like I said, I've leaned Kit Kat in recent years. Reese's is the GOAT.
Reese's is the winner.
GOAT candy.
Now they put this stupid thing on my screen, so I'm going to stop sharing.
Were there any candies that weren't in there?
Hershey's. M&M's were not there.
Skittles. I know some
don't
Skittles
care for Skittles.
I think Skittles are fine. Very popular candy, though, is what I'm saying. Like
yeah, I don't get why people like Skittles that much.
But
I'll considering some of the stuff that was on there,
I was gonna say for Runts to be in there and Skittles not, like, come on, let's do better.
Poor display from whoever made that.
I agree. I'm trying to think of like what other ones weren't in there. It should have been Mike and Ike's not in there. I'm just looking at the list now. Butterfinger.
Oh, Butterfinger's a heater. Butterfinger would have kind of been a tough out.
Butterfinger's good candy. Surprised.
It's one of my favorites.
You said Almond Joy and Mounds were in the background. They weren't in the bracket.
Yeah, we're in the background. Mounds, kind of a high up candy. Big fan of coconut. Big fan of dark chocolate.
I'm a big Almond Joy guy. I know I like dark chocolate better, but the almond in there is huge.
Both good.
York not in there. I don't know if you're a big York.
Not bad.
Patties guy. I think Yorks are fine. Baby Ruth, underrated, better than Milky Way.
Isn't it like the same thing as a Snickers?
Effectively, yes, but Snickers are better than Milky Way. Peanut M&Ms, good candy. Peanut M&Ms are fire.
I like the regular ones better.
I can't back you there. Yeah, I think the one that wasn't Butterfinger should have been there. Butterfinger.
Yeah, Butterfinger snubbed.
Great candy.
Must have had some injuries and didn't make the tournament.
Yeah. I think that about does it though. I think that was good way to wrap it up with the little bracket in there. We'll be doing one of these every time we do a pod cleanse in March. Yes. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. My one plug is always subscribe to YouTube. How about them Celtics? Check us both out on Twitter. But sub to the YouTube. Leave a 5-star rating on Spotify. Click the 3 dots. Hit 5 stars. We appreciate it. And yeah, I'll throw it over to Sam for the wrap up.
All right. Well, I just put it up. Going to a Celtics game or other event. Make sure you use SeatGeek. Promo code HBTC. Save yourself $20 on your first purchase. Let us help you go see what you want to see. Be like Lewis. Got to see a super cool game in Philly. Tatum actually did something for him. It was cool. But HBTC, you'll get $20 off your first purchase. Does not have to be a Celtics game. Does not have to be basketball. It can be anything on the app. We'll help you go see it. Make sure you use the promo code. As for us, you're already on the YouTube if you're seeing us. If you're listening, go subscribe to the YouTube. Leave a like. Leave comments. We love reading the comments. We love seeing likes on the videos. Make sure you subscribe. We're almost at 300. We're still trying to grow. Doing good work lately. It's been a good couple months for us. So go subscribe to the YouTube. If you're listening, like Jack said, leave a nice review. If you're not going to leave a nice one, don't leave one because what's the point? Just say mean stuff to us in the YouTube comments if you want to be mean.
Yes.
It's not about the being mean. There's no need to leave a 1-star. Except for like if you like found us for the Pete Rogers one and like you're like, what the hell am I listening to? Because there's no video and they're talking about a visual thing. But on top of that, yeah, watch the YouTube. You can find us on socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. If we're on Facebook, our streams are there as well as the YouTube before the Celtics games. 30 minutes before every game, we do a pregame. That is just How About Them Celtics podcast, Facebook. We're there. We're also on heavy Facebook for the Celtics. And you can follow Jack Simone at Jack Simone NBA on Twitter. He's doing all kinds of good work at Celtics blog. Is working hard on something good for the people right now. That's all I'm saying.
Keep an eye out.
And you can follow me on Twitter. I had a couple good tweets yesterday. I had like a nice little night.
Mike
Sam LaFrance's NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
These guys are ridiculous.